Hello, students. Today I'm going to be reading you a book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. Chapter 1. This is a story about a small boy whose name is Charlie Bucket. Charlie lived with his family in a little wooden house near a big town. The house only had 2 rooms and only one bed, so it was very, very small. There were 6 people in his family. 2 of them were Mr. and Mrs. Bucket, Charlie's mother and father. The other 4 people who lived in the house were Charlie's grandparents. Because they were all so old and so tired, they stayed in bed all day. Grandpa Joe and Grandma Josephine slept on one side of the bed. Grandpa George and Grandma Georgina slept on the other side of the bed. Mr. and Mrs. Bucket and Charlie slept in the other room on the floor. In winter it was very cold. Chapter 2. Charlie's family was very poor. Mr. Bucket worked in a factory and he did not bring home a lot of money. There was not enough money to buy good food for them all. His mother tried hard to make nice meals, but every day it was cabbage or more cabbage. Charlie was always hungry and he dreamed of eating something else. Most of all, he dreamed of eating chocolate. Chapter 3. In Charlie's town, near his house, there was an enormous chocolate factory. It was the biggest and the most famous chocolate factory in the world. It was Mr. Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Every day, when Charlie walked to and from school, he walked past the factory. He always walked very slowly, with his nose high in the air. Then he could smell the delicious chocolate smell. His one wish was to go inside the chocolate factory. Chapter 4. One day, Mr. Bucket came home from work. He was very excited. "Listen, Charlie," he said. "5 golden tickets. Each one is inside a bar of Wonka chocolate. If you find one, you can visit the factory." "But I only get one bar of chocolate a year on my birthday," said Charlie. "I'll never find it." The next day, a greedy boy called Augustus Gloop found the first ticket. Here is Augustus with his mother. Chapter 5. The next lucky child was Veruca Salt. Her parents were very rich, so they bought thousands of Wonka bars. Mr. Salt took the bars to his factory and his workers opened them. Veruca just lay down on the floor. She kicked her legs and shouted, "Where's my golden ticket? I won my golden ticket." After 4 days, a worker found a golden ticket. "Give it to me quickly," Veruca said. Here is Veruca with her parents. Chapter 6. It was Charlie's birthday. Every year, his family gave him a delicious bar of Wonka chocolate. "Perhaps I'll be lucky and I'll find a golden ticket inside," Charlie thought. Charlie held his present carefully in his hands. The four old people sat in the bed and watched. "Just forget about those golden tickets and enjoy the chocolate," said Grandpa Joe. Charlie started to open his present. Chapter 7. Charlie did not find a ticket. Violet Beauregard found a third golden ticket. "I usually chew gum," Violet shouted to the cameras. "When I read about the golden tickets, I started eating chocolate. I found the ticket and now I'm chewing gum again. I love gum. At night, I put the gum on the end of my bed. Then in the morning, I start chewing it again." "What a horrible child," said Grandma Georgina. Chapter 8. "Listen, it's here in the newspaper," Mr. Bucket said. "A lucky boy called Mike TV found a fourth golden ticket. Mike's crazy about television. He watches it all the time. When people try to talk to him, he shouts, 'Go away! Can't you see? I'm watching television.'" "That's enough," said Grandma Josephine. "I don't want to hear any more." "Another horrible child," said Grandma Georgina. "And now there's only one ticket left," said Grandpa George. Chapter 9. Weeks passed. No lucky child found the fifth golden ticket. Where was it? One afternoon, Charlie was on his way home from school. He was cold and tired and very hungry. Suddenly, he saw something shiny in the street, in the snow. He picked it up. It was some money. It was a silver coin. He could buy food. "I must give it to my mom," he thought. "But first, perhaps I'll..." Chapter 10. Charlie wanted some chocolate. Just one bar. He was so hungry. Charlie went into a shop. He gave the man his silver coin, and the man gave him a bar of Wonka chocolate. Charlie quickly pulled off the paper and ate the chocolate. It was so delicious. "One more bar, please," Charlie said to the man. Charlie quickly pulled off the paper. This time there was something yellow under the paper. Chapter 11. Charlie ran all the way home. "Mother, mother, mother!" shouted Charlie. "Look, I found some money in the street. I bought 2 bars of chocolate, and I found it. It's a fifth golden ticket. It's mine." Grandpa Joe sat up in bed, put his arms in the air, and shouted, "Yippee!" He forgot about his soup. Then Grandpa Joe jumped onto the floor and started dancing. Chapter 12. Next day was a big day. It was a lovely, cold, sunny morning. There were hundreds of people outside Wonka's famous factory. It was very early. People pushed and shouted. They wanted to see the 5 lucky children. Stand back," said a police officer when a line of parents and children walked past. Veruca came first with her rich parents. Next came Mike with his parents. He looked like an actor in a film. Behind Mike was a greedy boy, Augustus, with his parents. Behind Augustus was Violet with her parents. Look, she's still chewing gum, a person in the crowd said. I started chewing this piece of gum 3 months ago, Violet answered. Charlie and Grandpa Joe were at the end of the line. Who's the thin boy with the old man? A person in the crowd asked. That's Charlie Bucket and his Grandpa Joe, another person answered. Chapter 13. It was 10 o'clock. It was time to begin. But where was Mr. Willy Wonka? There he is, a person in the crowd shouted. That's him. And so it was. All eyes turned towards the funny little man with his pointed beard and a black hat. My dear children, he said, how good to see you all. Show me your golden tickets. Excellent. And these are your parents? How nice. Come in.